Imagine owning a solar system that still generates electricity, but no one is legally allowed to repair it. Your installer is gone, your warranty is void, your inverter software is locked. The system works, but it's already worthless, like a car you're not legally allowed to repair. This isn't a future risk. It's already happening to thousands of homeowners right now, and the reason has nothing to do with panels or sunlight. Between 2018 and 2023, thousands of solar installers expanded aggressively across the United States. Thin margins, heavy debt loads, aggressive sales tactics, but the foundation was fragile. Rising interest rates made financing more expensive, federal incentives started shrinking, customer acquisition costs climbed, and suddenly the math stopped working. In 2025 and 2026, we're seeing the collapse wave. Installers are filing for bankruptcy, service contracts are being terminated, customer accounts are going dark. And when an installer disappears, something worse than equipment failure happens. Your system loses its institutional support structure. Solar didn't fail, the companies around it did. These systems are called Solar Orphans. And today, I want to show you exactly what happens when a system becomes orphaned and the 3 actions that determine whether your investment survives. This next part is where most explanations quietly fall apart. A solar orphan isn't a broken system, it's a system with no caretaker. Let me break down what actually collapses when an installer goes bankrupt. First, monitoring access dies. Most solar systems send performance data to a cloud platform managed by the installer or manufacturer. When the installer shuts down, those monitoring accounts often get terminated. You lose visibility into how your system is performing. You can't diagnose problems. You can't track generation. Second, firmware updates stop. Modern inverters require periodic software updates for grid compliance, bug fixes, and performance optimization. Those updates are usually pushed through the installer's portal. Without access, your system becomes frozen in time. Over the years, it falls out of compliance with evolving grid codes. Third, warranty chain evaporates. Your equipment warranty might say 25 years, but if it's installer-backed rather than manufacturer-backed, it disappears the moment that company files for bankruptcy. The warranty document becomes legally meaningless. Fourth, service authorization disappears. Many inverter manufacturers only allow certified installers to perform repairs or replacements. If your original installer is gone and didn't transfer your account to another authorized provider, finding someone legally permitted to work on your system becomes nearly impossible. Here's the key insight. Your system doesn't fail mechanically first, it fails contractually. This is where the numbers stop being theoretical. Let me show you what happens in practice. Story 1. Repair. A homeowner in San Diego installs a 10-kilowatt system in 2022. The installer goes bankrupt in 2025. 2 years later, the inverter fails. It's still under warranty, but the warranty company won't honor the claim because the original installer no longer exists to process it. Replacement cost? $8,000 out of pocket. Story 2. Resale. A homeowner in Texas tries to sell their house. The solar system works perfectly, but the buyer's lender requires proof of transferable warranties and active monitoring. Because the installer is gone and the monitoring platform is offline, the lender refuses to include the solar system's value in the appraisal. The home sells, but the solar system adds $0 to the sale price. This is the mistake everyone makes. They assume hardware longevity equals system value, but that's not the full story. 2 identical systems, same sunlight, same power output. One is worth tens of thousands more purely because of paperwork. One has a living support ecosystem, the other is an orphan. This isn't about hardware quality, it's about institutional survival. If you care about understanding energy the way system designers do, not how it's marketed, subscribe to Microgrid Mindset. This channel exists to protect you from invisible system failures.
Here's the mental model that fixes all of this. If you already have solar or you're considering it, there are 3 actions that determine whether your system becomes an orphan or stays viable for 20 years. Action 1. Warranty independence. Make sure your equipment warranties are manufacturer-backed, not installer-backed. That means the warranty is issued directly by the company that made the inverter or the panels, not by the company that installed them. If the installer disappears, a manufacturer-backed warranty survives, and installer-backed warranty dies with the company. Ask for written proof. If the warranty certificate lists the installer's name as the issuing party, that's a red flag. A 25-year warranty is meaningless if the company issuing it no longer exists. Action 2. Software and monitoring control. You need to own your monitoring login and have direct access to firmware updates. This sounds technical, but it's simple. Ask your installer, if your company disappears tomorrow, will I still have access to my system's monitoring platform? Will I still be able to update the inverter firmware? If the answer is no, or if they hesitate, negotiate that into your contract before signing. Some manufacturers, like Enphase and SolarEdge, allow homeowners to register accounts directly. Others lock everything behind the installer portal. Know which model you're buying into. If your installer disappears tomorrow, you should still control your system. Action 3. Service ecosystem density. This is the most overlooked factor. Can any certified electrician service your system, or does it require proprietary access? Systems built with widely adopted components, open communication protocols, and broad manufacturer support networks are far less likely to become orphans. Systems built with niche, installer-specific hardware are extremely vulnerable. Before you buy, search for local service providers who are certified to work on that brand. If you can only find 2 or 3 in your region and they're all tied to the same installer network, that's a risk. Here's what installers won't tell you. Hardware matters less than who is allowed to touch it. A 25-year warranty means nothing if no one is authorized to honor it. The solar orphan crisis isn't just about individual homeowners, it's a signal of a bigger structural failure. We built hardware designed to last 25 years on business models that barely lasted 5. Over the last decade, solar installers relied heavily on third-party financing, aggressive customer acquisition strategies, and federal tax incentives to stay viable. When interest rates rose and incentives shrank, many of those business models broke. But the hardware they installed is still out there, functioning, generating power. That creates a massive institutional mismatch. We now have millions of solar systems whose support infrastructure has evaporated, and that creates downstream problems nobody's prepared for. For utilities, it complicates long-term grid planning. For lenders, it complicates home appraisals and mortgage underwriting. For virtual power plant operators, it limits which residential systems can participate in coordinated demand response. The technology works, the institutions around it don't. And until someone solves the institutional durability problem, not just the hardware durability problem, the solar orphan crisis will keep growing. This isn't a technology failure, it's a business model failure. And business model failures don't get fixed by better panels or cheaper batteries. They get fixed by better contracts, stronger service networks, and more resilient institutional structures. And here's why this matters even more going forward. As energy systems become more software-driven, ownership without control becomes the new risk. We're moving towards a world where your EV, your home battery, and your solar inverter are all connected devices running proprietary software. If the company managing that software disappears or pivots, your hardware can become functionally useless even while it's still physically intact. This isn't just about solar anymore, it's about the entire distributed energy ecosystem. Vehicle-to-home systems, smart thermostats, grid interactive water heaters, all of them depend on institutional continuity, not just hardware reliability. As energy becomes more software-defined, platform dependency becomes the defining risk. If this changed how you think about solar, hit like. It tells the algorithm this matters. And here's a question for the comments. Who installed your solar system, and would you trust it with them for the next 10 years? In the next episode, we'll look at vehicle-to-home integration and why your EV might be a better battery than the one marketed for your house. This channel exists to explain how these systems actually behave, not how they're marketed. If you want to understand energy the way system designers do, not how it's marketed, you're in the right place. Subscribe to Microgrid Mindset.